Hey everybody, this is Okie Twister 66 in the garage today. I'm getting ready to install an accessory that really should have been installed on this bike when I first brought it home, but I didn't. So now we're going to take care of that today. I'm talking about saddlebag guards. Now when I checked with Indian, these things were over $300 new, and that's just a little bit more than I think I wanted to pay. I do like to stick with OEM parts whenever I can, but I always ask myself two questions. Is it reasonable? Is it feasible? Well, in this case, reasonable, $300 or more for OEM versus about 50 bucks on Amazon. I think I'm going to say that it's not that reasonable for OEM in this case. As far as feasible, well, they were on back order. So not knowing when they're going to come in, that's just not feasible for me. Spoiler alert, I've already installed the left-hand side. So stick around and I'll show you how to install the right-hand side. Hey, thanks for sticking around. So everything showed up in a, it's very well packaged. These things are wrapped to the nth degree. So, plastic, and then they got this, it's like a pool float noodle thing. About the only tools you're going to need is this 6mm hex and some thread locker. There it is. One thing I like to do before I get started on projects like this is kind of get my stuff laid out that I think I'm going to need. Like in this case, I'm going to need somewhere to put this saddlebag when I remove that, and these trim pieces. So I have a pool float, and so we'll just lay them right on there. Also, I like to have my tools and everything. Like I said, there's not many tools here that you're going to need. You need a 6mm hex. I've got a couple different sizes, just never know. I am going to need a rag, and I like to also have like a little container of some sort to throw bolts and little doodads into. You are going to be removing some pieces that will no longer be installed on the bike. I like to keep those things, so while I'm working on it, I like to have somewhere to just keep things organized. I'm going to do this right-hand side the same way I did the left. First thing I did was I removed this trim piece and this trim piece right here. It's just one screw holds each one of them on. It makes it a little easier to get to this removal of this trim piece, which is going to have to come off, and it just pops right off. Then after that, you can disconnect the wiring. Once the wiring's disconnected, you can remove the bag. In order to do that, you just basically use your little wrench and undo those two bolts. Be sure and hold everything steady while you take it off. And we'll just toss these in the bucket. We'll put them in a safe place. Now, in order to pop this cover off, it just pops right in with some rubber grommets. So it feels kind of weird, and I'm sorry, but I got to put this camera down while I just pop this off. But there's one here, and I think there's one back here. Okay, I've loosened it up. As you can see, you got a little hole right there, one right there, and one right there. So I'm just going to go put this over on the pad. Here's the wiring connector. There's actually two of them. Just unplug those, and then you're free to remove the bolts that hold the saddlebag on. So now just remove these. Here's the hardware that they gave me. There was actually 6, but of course I've already used 3 on the other side. Some nice chrome Allen heads. Okay, I was a little concerned, you know, how well are these going to fit? You know, the left side, got to be honest with you, it was a little bit tight, but it really wasn't manageable. You just basically need to take a little time and just put these in loose, like just a couple of threads. Do the top ones first, and then you can get the bottom one. Like I said, just a couple of threads. That way, everything is still nice and loosey-goosey, so you can manipulate this thing to get it on there. But this one on the right-hand side, it fit perfectly. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to drip a little bit of blue thread locker on each one of these and then tighten them up to torque specs. You know, another thing I mentioned was a rag. The reason I use a rag is when I'm cranking these down, I don't want my ratchet to scuff up my chrome. So now I just went ahead and put the saddlebag back on. It's time to reconnect my wiring. Just kind of tuck the wiring up out of the way. I'm going to tighten down these bolts and then put the trim piece on. Yeah, let's make sure we got sound. Okay, there we go. Saddlebag guards all installed. I like them. I think they look really, really good. Now, some people call these crash bars. A little bit of difference here. These are not crash bars. They're not going to protect you in the event of a crash. What they are designed to do is to help limit damage in case of an accidental tip over. So anyway, not crash bars, but guards. Not for crash, just for protection. So there it is. I hope you like this video. If so, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit me with some comments. By all means, consider hitting the subscribe. This is Okie Twister 66 signing off for now. Until next time, have fun, ride safe, 2 wheels down.